Welcome back, Dota 2 fans. I don't know if you've seen this before, but I got this sweet draft overlay for this screen of the game. Pretty cool stuff. Regardless, BBC winning in the first game in a best of 2. I'm RSPs, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is HeflaTV, but don't associate me with them. They actually do good work. So, game 2 here, BBC. Playing very well in game 1. Had a little bit of a rough early game. Sharfik was able to dominate quite a bit early on, but some decisive picking going on here from game 2. BBC still pull it out. Once again, they go with the first pick Tidehunter. Not sure if they're going to couple this with Levi's Disruptor here. Looks like Arise will stand in for them once again, so Padrino not able to play. Sharfik is playing. It looks like Timble was replaced here for Tossie. And they will continue on. Again, you'll see the Brood Mother ban from BBC. Definitely want to check out within the next day or two the GG League Season 2 games. BBC versus Moscow 5 International. You did see Padrino's Brood Mother absolutely wreck ZXC's Alchemist there in that game. And pretty much you had a first item Butterfly on the Brood Mother. That's all I'll have to say at that point, and you should definitely check that out for a good game of Dota. Brewmaster, Ember Spirit, first couple picks here for Synergy. Be interesting to see Sharfik on that Ember Spirit if that's what he chooses to pick up. Perhaps maybe the Brewmaster in the mid lane. Will be a Skywrath Mage to couple with the Tidehunter here for BBC. So going to deny that up from Fervian this time around. And they will pick up the Tide to go along with that. No immediate synergy there with those two, but Skywrath, for obvious reasons, a very strong hero and definitely does counter up both the Ember Spirit and the Brewmaster. Silences are crippling to both those heroes for obvious reasons. Not able to activate his Remnants for the Ember Spirit, not able to Primal Split for the Brewmaster. We'll see the Jakiro DP bans mirroring their bans from game 1 is BBC here. They'll ban out the Viper as well as the Earthshaker, and we will see Brood Razor bans here from Synergy. They did pick up the Razor in the last game, not willing to deal with it in this game. They'll ban out the Ogre as well, who obviously couples well with the Skywrath Mage, with that disable into the Mystic Flare as well as the amplified magic damage from the Ancient Seal. Dire Lycan going to be banned out here from Synergy as well. They're going to deny that up from Weehaw, presumably, as it seems Arise is playing in the mid lane for them momentarily. And the Lich is going to be the pickup from Synergy. Nothing we see all too often. Perhaps we see a dual offlane here, or even a dual mid, which is probably the less likely of the two. Certainly Lich good against teams that are willing to converge on an area as those that have a Tidehunter. So be interesting to see how they fare with this Lich. He will be able to swing the creep equilibrium in their favor in at least one lane early on. So that will help Synergy transition from the early game to the early mid game. And hopefully that will give them the advantage that they so desire at this point. See what the response is. Once again, Levi's Disruptor going to be picked up within the first 3 picks. Last 3 games I've casted a BBC, the first 2 picks have been Tide Disruptor. And Synergy willing to let it through once again. So Levi going to pick up his Disruptor. He doesn't even play Dota. He just plays Disruptor. And he's pretty damn good at it. So hockey as well. All Tidehunter games today. Probably pretty mad at Weehaw drafting in the same damn crap over and over again. So we'll see the Slark pickup. This is something BBC's actually banned out quite a bit today. So interesting they let this through. This time I feel that they do have ways to deal with it with the Ancient Seal as well as the Static Storm, and even the Glimpse pretty darn good against the Slark if he's already used that Shadow Dance. So I don't mind them letting it through here. I do think it's a good hero. We certainly have seen the Tricore from Synergy. If you see Brewmaster in a 4 position, you're probably screwed. So we'll probably see the safe lane Slark, off lane Brew, Ember Spirit in the middle, if all things go as is the standard. And we will see another support pickup for Synergy at the end here. Eating into the reserve time a bit is BBC. Probably looking to pick up Arise's hero here, if not Weehaws. Looks like they've got Levi's and Solitudes in the Disruptor and the Skywrath respectively. And they do pick up the Timber here, so interesting if they're going to put this in the mid lane. Perhaps they put this in a 1v1 versus the Brewmaster. Timbersaw with that Whirling Death does very well against melee heroes, and of course with the mobility of the Timber chain there. So they also do have a Lich as a support who doesn't have a lot of lockdown, which allows Timber free reign in the off lane if they put this Lich in the safe lane try. Even if he gets pounced up, he should be okay to survive on this Timbersaw. So I do like that pick. A little bit unorthodox, a little bit out of the box, but it is able to burst down quite a few of these heroes, and it does offer that pure damage. So we'll see what he ends up building there and who ends up taking that Timbersaw. I wouldn't be surprised to see Weehaw take it, but he may just go with the hard carry and give Arise that in the mid. So we will see the Naga Siren ban from Synergy. So they are expecting a hard carry for Weehaw in this 5th slot, which only makes sense. And the final ban from BBC will be the Witch Doctor. Rubik actually going to be the pickup from Synergy, so the Grand Magus. Rubik is going to be grabbed for Synergy here. Quite a bit to steal in the Skywrath, the Tide, the Disruptor, and even to an extent the Timbersaw. Chakram, pretty damn good spell. So Rubik should have a pretty good time in terms of stealing things. He can also get blown the F up by a lot of these heroes. So Feast or Famine pick, I feel, for Synergy here. And I don't feel that there's too much synergy, no pun intended, in their lineup. Just a bunch of good heroes at what they do individually. And we will see the Weehaw Meepo slipping through to the 5th pick phase for BBC. And you probably saw most of Sharfik's squad face palming if we had face cam here. But unfortunately for them, they are able to pick up that Meepo for Weehaw here. So very interesting game. I know most of you watching are Weehaw fans. The guy's a very legit player, so we will probably see him take that to the mid lane, and perhaps they will run an aggro try around the Tidehunter and give this Timber farm in the safe lane, or just let him off lane as well. As I said before, not too much lockdown. There is the Telekinesis now to help him out. Help them out with the lockdown in that safe lane try if that's what they choose to run here for Synergy. So we'll see how they end up choosing to lane this. Skeeper actually does pick up the Brewmaster here, so I guess Tossie looking to play support for them, as Timble did play a core. I'm not sure if you guys want to watch like this or something. Like, let's just watch like that. Probably a lot better. It's a lot more visibility this way. God, what a noob. God. Anyways, pause in the game. Tossie is a Russian support player, so he has been playing with screen. I did not know that, so I was unaware of that. I did see screen SCOD earlier today. That's Moscow 5 int, so I have not seen Tossie play before. Excited for my first opportunity to check him out, albeit not playing on the most exciting hero, on the Lich King. But I guess him being in this squad is for the greater good. Mine. So Lich, one of our favorite heroes, does nothing but kill his own creeps. And looks pretty cute though. It's a nice dress he's got on here. Ember looking pretty hot with that hat on. But Rubik looking the best of all, of course. And I believe this is like a karaoke set, if I'm not. Yeah, it is. It is. But he doesn't. He plays for a good team now, Kappa. Well, I mean, Secret's obviously awesome. Might just be Navi. It's not that good, Kappa. We will see Arise take the Timbersaw to the mid lane. Balkan Bears Corleone on the dire side, looking to 2-0. Synergy following up their 2-0 earlier today in GG League. We'll see Levi pick up the same damn hero we've seen him pick up 3 games before. 5 position disruptor for him. Solitude on the 4. Skywrath Mage. And we will see Weehaw on his signature Meepo And that Synergy let slip through to the 5th pick phase. Hockey rounding out the lineup once again on his Tidehunter. For the side of Synergy on the Radiant, we'll see the Apathy playing up the solo safe, or the safe lane carry 1 position Slark. Excuse me. Fervian up on that Rubik in the 5. We will see the Lich played by Tossie, the stand-in for Synergy here. Shkeeper playing up on the off lane Brewmaster, and finally in the mid, some call me Sheen. Sharfik playing up on Imba Spirit. So screw stats, Weeha's Meeple beat newbie on LAN. It's true. It's a true statement. I guess that's a stat. It's a fact. Weeha is a winner versus newbie. Fact. Haste Rune picked up by Fervian. We'll see if he rotates towards the mid lane with this and perhaps looks to pick off Arise here, forcing him to skill Timber Chain, which is not the best in a mid matchup, but should be a pretty interesting one. Timbersaw up against the Ember. He does have magical damage in the Whirling Death, which can be absorbed by the Flame Guard, so Ember should have an okay time. Generally, Timber does really well against melee heroes, but not the absolute best up against the Ember Spirit, who does have that Flame Guard, which is often maxed out ever since the changes to Sleight of Fist. So he will already put some burn damage into Arise. Arise has not skilled the reactive armor and will just drop that Flame Guard with his Whirling Death. Whirling Death, much shorter cooldown, about the same in terms of mana, but a much shorter cooldown, so less of a commitment there from Arise to drop that. Weeha's Meeple, hopefully I'm able to just watch that all game as a little bit of harass goes out onto Shkeeper here from the Arcane Bolt from Solitude, and he should have a good time up against this dual lane. They will allow Levi to pull for now. He doesn't want to just feed all game like he did last game, and he still was pretty damn effective with that Static Storm. So far have a 1v1 in this solo, or in this safe lane for the Radiant, as we do see Fervian pulling with the Rubik. He's going to execute a pull through here and gain some farm in that manner. Currently 8-1 to the 5-2 Arise to Sharfik's Ember Spirit here. So mid lane going fairly evenly, a little bit of an edge for the Timbersaw. Shkeeper going to go looking for the pull here. And Solitude actually going to rotate towards the rune, where he'll meet up with Tossie, who's already found his level 2 on the Lich. So that sacrifice paying dividends in terms of bringing the creep equilibrium underneath their tower. Fervian gonna find an illusion rune, and Bounty gonna be found by the Lich here. Sharfik body blocking up Arise. There it goes, the Frost Blast into him, and a nice Searing Chains. He doesn't have a Timber Chain here. This could be your first blood. One last right click. Sharfik gonna take him down. Tower hit's not gonna be enough to bring down Sharfik. Very nice kill for Synergy, and they gotta get on the board. 1-0 is your score. 2.5 minutes in for Synergy here, so probably will see Sharfik have to base fairly soon. He does not have a salve. He does have quite a few tangles, 1 shared, 3 left. Does he have his bottle coming out at this point? He does, so he'll just be fine to sustain in the lane. And Hockey's found quite a bit in the spot lane. Only 5 last hits, but he is level 3. Compared that to Shkeeper, who is still level 2.5. Being zoned out by Solitude Skywrath Mage, as well as the pulls being executed by Levi's Disruptor. We will see Apathy probably look to aggress on Hockey here. They have the Telekinesis into Pounce combo, but Fervian's still only level 1, and without that Fade Bolt minus armor, they probably don't have the kill potential here. There is a dive mid lane onto Sharfik, however. Nice telekinesis. The kinetic field, though, going to stave off the aggression from Fervian as well as Sharfik here. Arise going to bottle up. Skywrath has a 50% win rate versus Ember Spirit. Didn't actually catch that one. But it's interesting to see. I mean, you can certainly make the argument that Skywrath is extremely squishy, and one 3-Spirit Bomb and a Sleight of Fist or Searing Chains will kill off the Skywrath. So Ember pretty darn good against that here, especially with how low his armor is. Sleight of Fist does do physical damage. Dark Pact going to go into, as well as the Pounce into Hockey here, but he can just stand and man up with that Anchor Smash against the Apathy. Of course, you don't want to give him too many stacks of that Essence Shift. But getting back to that point, Ancient Seal obviously very good against Ember Spirit, but Ember Spirit has way more than the capability to blow up that Skywrath mage. So I guess it depends who gets the jump, but in a 5-on-5 engagement, I would favor the Skywrath. Certainly, if Ember is able to pick it off, it's more or less easy pickings every time. We'll see rotations into the mid lane from Levi. He does not have a point in Glimpse yet, only sitting at level 2, so unfortunately they probably don't have too much kill potential on this Ember, despite him not being level 6 yet. So again, Hockey still finding quite a bit in the bot lane. He's got 11 last hits to the 7 of Shkeeper, and it is 4.5 levels in, whereas he's about a full level ahead. Weehaw being aggressed onto on the Meepo here in the top lane, but he'll be just fine for the moment. And it looks like he will pick up his treads from the side shop. Take a look at Solitude. He's just got boots and a sentry as well as smoke, playing hard support here. Levi actually doing the pull, so they're prioritizing his farm a little more, but he's still only level 2, so they're about at equilibrium here. Poof's coming out from Weehaw. He's going to look to take down Tossie with one more Earthbind, and actually the right click from Disruptor going to finish him off here. Arise going to rotate in as well. Perhaps they look for a push here with already a couple of Meepos on the map. There are 4 heroes here for BBC in the top lane. Remnant forward. They're going to look to catch out Weehaw. Nice glimpse back from the Disruptor, though. And even a poof out. Fadebolt going to finish off Levi, however, on that Disruptor. So they will find 1 kill, but heavily committed. And actually, Apathy going to find a kill in the bot lane. Solo onto the Tidehunter. Did he bait out the Ravage? He did not. He's not quite level 6 yet. So that's a big kill for Apathy. Meanwhile, in the river, Arise going to be scouted out. He's going to get the rune, though, and that's going to starve out Sharfik for a bit. He'll drop a Remnant here, perhaps TP home. He'll just walk home, regen up, and quickly join the fray by activating that Remnant. Tossie's going to find a little bit of farm mid, 2-1-2 build on the Lich King. Thus far, he's going to look to see if he can find his level 6 high ground ward, excuse me, planted by Solitude on the Skywrath mage. So they will have a little bit extra information as to the rotations in, and they will see Sharfik come back into the mid lane. He tried to get a free Searing Chains off with the Fountain regeneration, but was just a bit short in terms of the range. Obviously, Searing Chains not the largest range, probably just a little bit bigger than the Berserker call from Axe, so do need to be more or less melee for that to be effective. Arcane Boot's going to be picked up here by Arise. He's a little bit under farm for coming out of that mid lane. 30-2 are his CS to the 22-6 of Sharfik, so doing a little better than Sharfik actually, but only has his Arcanes up as well as a Stout Shield at this moment. They do get the kinetic field out onto Shkeeper. Earthbind, couple of poofs, few more right clicks, concussive shot, arcane bolt, and they'll give the kill to Weehaw here. Actually, Levi takes it once again with that Disruptor. So much KS. 2-1-0 on the Disruptor. A couple of assists for Weehaw, and of course surviving earlier also pretty crucial for this Meepo. Got a Stout Shield with his treads thus far, as well as 966 gold. We'll see rotations back up to the top lane from Shkeeper. Gonna look to find some farm here. He's almost level 5, and we'll pick it up within this creep, and should be able to get it there within this next creep death. So he does find his level 5 here, still quite a ways off that level 6. Hockey does have his Ravage now and is almost level 7, in fact, so going to be able to max out that Anchor Smash. He's going to rotate towards these Ancients, which are already stacked once for him. And in the mid lane, actually Ember Spirit going to get picked off by Weehaw, as well as Arise and Solitude. Ancient Seal doing work there. Let's see what they ended up using. Couple Timber Chains, Chakram, Earthbind. No Ancient Seal actually needed. The Earthbind was all that was needed there for that kill on the Ember. So apologies for missing that one. Noob. 3-3 is your score. 8.5 minutes in. Sharfik pretty poor. Taking a look at the net worth chart, he's 4th overall for coming out of the mid lane. Not the best. Levi needs to be a bit careful here. Jump forward, Searing Chains. He's going to glimpse back the Ember, but it's not going to matter. The thunderclap from Schkeeper gonna finish him off there, and free pick off on Levi there. Again, they do rotate the Ember towards the top lane, involves him in another kill. He's still only got Wraithband, Bracer, Boots, Wand, and Bottle at this point, so not even on his way to his drums yet. Doesn't even have phase boots. Excuse me. And we will see some rotation from the supports. Weehaw gonna start jungling it up on the Meepo, finding his farm. Apathy and Hockey in the bot lane. Looks like Apathy's ready to go on this. There is a Ravage. He will commit it. Arise gonna come in. They're gonna clean up the Slark. Nice chain chakram combo from Arise. Good communication between those two. And they will find the kill bottom on the Slark. So nice return kill. Revenge for before. 400 XP going both of their way. 350 gold bounty to Arise's Timber Saw. And meanwhile, telekinesis onto Levi. He's gonna glimpse back Schkeeper, who's actually gonna commit the primal split, which doesn't interrupt the glimpse. Kinetic field gonna be dropped as well. The remnant forward though, however, he's gonna catch 2 in the searing chains. Weehaw is able to poof out for the time being and should survive just fine. So split committed, and they only get a disruptor for it. Not the best kill. Apathy gonna jump onto Hockey in the bot lane. Chain Frost as well as the Frost Pass committed to finish him off, and Arise won't get there in time. Weehaw's been caught out again top lane, but he'll poof back to base, and he'll be just fine. So a lot of aggression happening around the map. 6-4 is your kill. Those 2 engagements there, 1-0s, both going in the way of Synergy. So they're not looking bad. 10 minutes into the game. Treads, Orb of Venom, Poor Man's Shield, and 2k gold up for Apathy. Probably he will go for the Blink here within a couple hundred gold. Don't see why else he would be saving that much if he was choosing to go like a Sanj and Yasha route, or perhaps a Scotty Rush. So probably we'll see the Blink here for Apathy. There's not too much other initiation aside from the Ember Spirit, as Schkeeper's Blink is going to be pretty delayed here, but he's actually not too far off. 450 gold away. He's got a stack to farm up here. Sharfik going to jump into the mid. There are going to be TPs in from Fervian, so they're going to look to defend this, but it doesn't look like BBC are going to convene for a push anytime soon. Just letting Weehaw farm up here. He's already got 2 components of his Aghanims. He's 1,250 gold away from that Scepter for the Meeple, and he'll begin to do work as soon as that comes to fruition. We do have the smoke rotation and a little bit of deep warding happening here from Fervian. Smoke is going to pop as he's on the low ground, and they are able to ping him out as he walks down into the river. Will Arise be able to get there in time? He does chain forward. Chakram is there. Lift up. Is there a steal? Not quite yet. He actually needs basically 1 or 2 creep kills for that level 6 on the Rubik. Sharfik gonna find out Arise here though. Concussive shot, Ancient Seal. They don't have quite enough damage to bring him down during the duration of the Ancient Seal. And as the stat mentioned, who counters who? Ember gonna take out Solitude here. However, Weehaw is here with Earthbind, but able to Remnant away is Sharfik. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, Apathy gonna take out Levi's Disruptor, and he's just been an absolute beating stick. Timber Chain stolen by Fervian. Yeah, they've been feeding off Levi and on this Disruptor, and hasn't found much farm. He has found an urn, however. And Meepo is keeping up on net worth. He should be leading in experience. We take a look at the hero levels. He's actually just underneath the Slark at this current moment, who did find a solo kill mid just now. Solo kill earlier on the Tidehunter, and a kill with the Lich on the Tidehunter, so is doing pretty well for himself. But Meepo should look to take that advantage in levels fairly soon. Hockey anywhere close to his Blink Dagger? Not really. Doesn't even have Arcanes, and 1,300 gold on him. Schkeeper should be pretty close to this Blink, if not there. He actually picks up a Recovery Midas on the Brewmaster. Interesting choice from him. Will we see an engagement mid? Doesn't seem as so at this point. Any item progression for the Ember? Not really. 1,700 gold for him thus far, so perhaps saving for the Perseverance, and we'll just buy that up at the side shop. Still doesn't have Phase Boots or Drums, which are pretty common on the Ember Spirit. Aghanim Scepter now out for Weehaw, and this is perhaps the cue for BBC to begin doing work. Of course, this also means that his farm is really accelerated, so they may just look to protect him, create a little bit of space, avoid engagements for now. And with the Timbersaw and the Skywrath and the Disruptor, just look to find solo picks while Weehaw farms it up. Ancients farmed up a little bit here for the side of BBC. Jump forward, however, from the Slark. He's going to pounce on the Solitude. Easy 2 right clicks. Not even really needing the Shadow Dance, but wants to avoid the Ancient Seal. Chain's going to go right through him. Chakram going to be a little bit short. He's going to get hit with the Whirling Death as well, and he may be chased down here by Arise. He does have a pounce in a second. TP rotations are in, and he actually pounces away from the last right click from Arise. Arise still hasted up, however. And he chains the wrong way. Good game sense from Apathy. He's going to go rightwards. And Searing Chain's going to latch onto Hockey. But actually, it's Sharfik who's the one who has to turn tail from this Timbersaw. Arise, however, is running out of mana quickly. Ravage is going to hit on 2, but there's no follow-up here. So a little bit of miscommunication from the Balkan Bears Corleone boys. And Arise just going to get out a little bit of a zoning Ravage from the Tidehunter. Meanwhile, Brewmaster does go down to Weehaw in the top lane. So who cares about that pursuit bottom? I'm not going to watch anyone but Weehaw anymore. This is BS. I'm going to miss that. Anyways, level 12 on the Meeple. 1100 gold in addition to his current item progression, in which he does have the eggs and his treads. So Weehaw looking pretty good. We'll see if he looks to build perhaps a mech for his team. They probably could use one of those. They could allow the Tidehunter to go for that, but he just picked up his Arcanes and only has 420 gold. Soul Ring is up, as well as a point booster for Arise here. So he is working on that Bloodstone and is not too far off, actually. Just needs the couple components here of the Soul Booster. Blink forward from Apathy. He's going to get glimpsed back, though, and the Pounce is going to miss regardless. Probably wouldn't have been quite enough to pick off Solitude. Certainly would have been close. Hand of Midas has only a 45% win rate on the Brewmaster, so that recovery Midas a little bit peculiar from Schkeeper. He had enough to pick up the blink at that point. Feel like maybe that could have net him and his team a few more kills, but Apathy actually going to find a solo pick on the Slark here in the jungle, and that's going to stave off the aggression for the time being. These darn stats are distracting me. Regardless, in the mid lane, Tossie find anything just as Tranquils at this point. He's only level 8 on the Lich. Taking a look at the level progression, he's actually above both supports for the side of BBC, and so is Fervian and Schkeeper, but the Tide is well above the Brew at this point. Regardless, that's pretty much an overall win for Synergy. Taking a look at Weehaw Farm, we'll take a look at the metrics here. Barely any gold lead for Synergy, and a 1500 experience lead for them is pretty decent. 3-man smoke rotation from the Rubik, as well as the Lich and the Slark, and they will find a farming Tidehunter here. And jump in, pounce, leap. You have the Telekinesis Fade Bolt, not even needed with the Telekinesis. They actually save that. Shadow Dance used once again by Apathy, probably not necessary. And a jump in from Weehaw. Here's the Timber Chain. There's the Chakram. Whirling Death going to go in as well. Here comes the Chain Frost into the Meepo, though. And they split up pretty well. Will it bounce backwards towards Arise? Arise does fall. Ancient Seal goes out onto the Rubik. However, the Primal Split going to be committed here. Poof out from Weehaw. And he should be just fine. Ember going to come in. Static Storm is going to be dropped on the Ember and the Lich. They're going to glimpse him back for the time being. Arise did buyback. Meanwhile, Skywrath is going to go down. Reinitiate from Weehaw. Searing Chains onto 2 of his Meepos. Ember not far enough to get down the hill. Clap going to go on 3. One more right click. Nice Ravage from Hockey. Actually does end up going down for Weehaw. Will they be able to bring down Tossie? The Timber Chain is enough. So making the buyback certainly worth it for Arise. We're taking a look at the fight recap. Full team wipe here for BBC. 3 down, including Weehaw on the side of BBC. And Synergy losing everyone there. Weehaw did do quite a bit of work. He did pick up his blink and still has 1400 gold, almost level 16 as well. He's now topping the net worth as well as the level charts, so only gonna get fatter here is this Meepo. And Anchor Smash stolen by Fervian, probably not the spell he wanted. He's gonna be flanked right here by Solitude, who drops a nice lane ward. They're gonna scout him out. They do have the kill potential with a Gush. No Mystic Flare committed here from Solitude. and he will actually use too much mana to use it. Gush comes out from Weehaw. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains combo is actually going to whiff from Sharfik. Actually didn't use the Searing Chains, he withheld them. So Solitude will find the kill on Fervian, but easy return kill for Sharfik here. He actually picked up a first item, Boots a Travel, on Ember Spirit, and I have seen this done fairly recently with the changes to bots. You do have the 50-second cooldown on TP, but I don't feel like you do enough damage as an Ember Spirit with a first item bots for it to be effective enough. I certainly understand the item and how it works mechanically with the Ember, but without drums, does he even have phase boots at this point? Of course not. He wouldn't have 2 sets of boots, you retard. But no drums, no right click items, no Battle Fury, no Crystallis. Jump in bottom lane from Apathy, hold that thought. Static Storm is going to be dropped on him as well as the Kinetic Field. They can turn this around. There's no Ravage, however. He's going to get glimpsed back. And they will steal a glimpse, and they're going to glimpse Arise right back to the top lane. Unfortunately, that chain did latch, which is what he was pinging out here. Chain Frost not going to bounce, but they're going to clean up both the Tide and Levi's Disruptor with a leap in from Apathy. So a nice 2-for-0 in the bot lane, going the way of Synergy. Nice steal from Fervian. He's going to glimpse back Arise out of that lane, and that allows them to continue the aggression. And they're going to look to take this T1 as well. Glyph is available here for BBC, and they do have one Meepo at the ready to engage here. Glimpse back from the Rubik onto Arise. He's actually going to stop mid-chain, and he will commit suicide. So that's probably his first usage of his Bloodstone. Unfortunate for him, he's down to 5 charges already. But better to deny yourself than to die to the team and lose charges. Anyways, that's on cooldown for 300 seconds. Solitude trying to find some farm bottom lane, but they do Cyclone up Levi, who's going to try and glimpse out the Ember Spirit, but it's not going to matter. A few right clicks from Sheeper should be enough. He actually walks away. Nicely placed Kinetic Field. Ancient Seal, Gush out onto Sheeper. Ravage is going to hit him just on the periphery, and Mystic Flare there as well. Sheeper going to juke backwards, though, and TP out in the tree line. How the hell did he manage that? Ward going to be dropped, just a sentry, however, just after he TPs. Sheeper gets away somehow. Very good game sense from him. Not sure why they didn't pursue it a little more with the glimpse back on that Ember, but Tossie going to deny up this tier 1 in the bottom lane. And so a little bit of an uneventful engagement bottom. Roshan is being taken though by Weehaw, and this definitely will be absolutely free. There was a ping there from Fervian. Too little too late though. And Weehaw is now forevermore for all you fanboys. He's already sitting at level 17. He's got everything maxed out. He does have, of course, that Aegis in hand now, and he's got already an ultimate orb ready for him to get the stats up. Perhaps go for that Scotty, and we'll see a rotation from Apathy as well as the Imba Spirit. To look to find balance in all things. Hockey going to be aggressed on mid lane. The clap is on cooldown, but the Remnant forward Sleight of Fist Searing Chain should be there, and is for Sharfik. One last pounce into the Dark Pack. The Frost Blast actually going to find the kill for the Lich on that Tide Hunter there. Levi rotating in from behind with Weehaw and that Aegis. Static Storm's going to drop on 3. Beautifully placed by Levi, and Weehaw going to clean house here. He's still got the Earthbind for this Slark when ready, and he's actually going to poof towards his Meeples here, bring them up, leap to the high ground, however, and the Earthbind going to be a little bit late. We can chain up here for Arise, but blink out from Apathy. He'll be just fine. So they do get a few kills there. Levi ends up going down 3 for 2. Just missed that fight recap. 3 for 2 in the way of BBC. They bring down the Brew as well as the Ember Spirit and the support Lich. And we hit Weehaw involved in all of that. 6-1 on his Meepo. He's got 6,500 gold at this point, and he picks off Apathy's Slark in the top lane. Very nicely played by him. He's all over the map. Hex going to come out for him. That's going to make him unbelievably lethal at this point. Coupling that with the Earthbind, he'll pretty much have permanent disable on any solo target he wishes to go on. And That's going to be a very potent item pickup for him. He's going to have to back out, however. Telekinesis Frostblast going to go out. He's actually going to re-engage. Hex up onto Tossie. This one Meepo's pretty low, though. He's going to finish off the Lich. Few Earthbinds. He's going to try and run away this low Meepo. Nice Earthbind and a glimpse onto the Ember, but he gets the Remnant forward, and with a Slighting Fist, he'll finish Sleight of Fist, he'll finish off Weehaw. Aegis, though, in tow. Earthbind is going to be used by Fervian onto the Meepos, and Static Storm going to be used defensively for Levi. And they're going to look to just chop down all of these Primal Split remnants here. And they're going to try to get a concussive shot on Fervio, and they will pick him off. And Weehaw going to chop down the Storm Panda. They're going to look to find the Earth Panda as well. In the backlines, Apathy does pick up the Skywrath Mage. And nice blink out from Shkeeper. But it looks like Apathy may pay with his life here. He is able to leap out. Is there a Hex at the ready for Weehaw? There seems to be. Shkeeper is pretty low. Earthbind thrown at the TP here. He's going to Hex up the Lich once again. Weehaw is going to go down, though. That Sleight of Fist, so many targets to bounce off. Still no Battle Fury, however, for Sharfik. But Weehaw ends up going down here. And big win in the top lane for Synergy. Not sure if they needed a buyback there. They did not. So 4 for 2 in the way. They only lose 2 heroes. Both supports. Lich actually able to come back into the fray by the end of the fight. So long and drawn out. They lose 4 as well as the Aegis. So really a 5 for 2 there. Going the way of Synergy. Excellent engagement from them. Very nice blink out from the tree line here. From Shkeeper down to this area, as they had the BKB Slark blocking off the exit path for Weehaw. And as he retreated out, Lich TP'd back in, and they were able to bring down the Meepo. Apathy pushing into the top lane. 10 seconds until Weehaw is up. Glyph going to be refreshed after he brings this down, and he does with relative ease. Going to pick up that last hit as well. Blink is on cooldown, however. And perhaps they go with Weehaw to look to find Apathy here. He's going to blink down to the tree line. There's no vision here for the Dire side, as you can see. But Weehaw going to round the corner. He's going to catch a glimpse. Jump in, Hex. Blink, poofs galore. And he finds a free kill. Easy money for Weehaw on that Meepo. Too good with the game sense. He pretty much walked around the corner and didn't even see Apathy yet. Just GG. 7-1 record where he has Blink, Aghanim's Hex, 25 minutes or less on Meepo. So bodes well here. Mid lane, gonna engage on the Ember Spirit. He's gonna be able to Remnant out, but he's actually gonna Sleight of Fist and stay in position here. And they're gonna chase him down. He's only got 1 Remnant left. He actually does dodge the Ravage here. Chain Frost gonna go out onto the Meepos. Weehaw gonna split up very nicely here. And the tide does go down, but as you can see, Weehaw split up very nicely. He's going to poof back to the back lines. He's going to look to Earthbind up Fervian. He does get that. Ravage, however, was stolen onto all the Meepos. There's no Chain Frost left, unfortunately, for Tossie. And the one Meepo is not able to poof is in a little bit of trouble here. Will he be brought down? No, he gets used up by the Storm Panda. Big time misplay from Shkeeper here. He actually saves the life of Weehaw here, and I think his team's going to be a little bit salty with that one. They bring him down shortly thereafter. Taking a look at the fight recap, that's 4 for 2, favoring BBC here. Apathy going to look to find out the Slark, but Weehaw too good with that. He's got most of his Meepos healing in base. He's going to bring them back in momentarily, and Apathy needs to get the hell out of here. He's going to Shadow Dance up. And he will be able to avoid any Earthbinds, but blink forward, Hex from Weehaw. He's going to bring in all his Meepos and the Timber Chain, as well as a few right clicks. Going to bring down Apathy once again. 17k net worth. Yeah, saving the enemy's carry's life has a 100% chance of making your team mad and making the caster very, very confused. So, unfortunately for that one, he saves Weehaw. And Weehaw only getting fatter and fatter. That 7-1 record is surely looking to be 8-1. Gold graph very erratic here. Experience graph a little bit 5,000 in the favor of BBC, pretty much by virtue of the Meepo. He's level 25 to the level 17 next closest contender. That is the Slark. Arise sitting at level 15, tied up with the Imba Spirit for Synergy here. So Tossie, has he picked up anything? Not much in the way of item progression. Looking for a Force Staff, picked up the Staff of Wizardry as well as his Ring of Health, so he's going to need that recipe sometime soon. Blink here, of course, for Shkeeper, as we've seen, and he's got a point booster, so he's still 2,800 gold away, 2,700-ish from that Aghanim Scepter. Not sure that Ags is enough for this game against a Meepo. I say perhaps Assault Cuirass Vlad, sort of that fighting brew build, would have been a little more beneficial to his team, as Ember Spirit and Slark generally do not build into that. Scouting out the top lane is Arise here. He's going to look to pick off Fervian really quick. Nice reactions from Sharfik, though, with the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, and he's actually going to glimpse back Shkeeper, is Levi from long range. Arise still in trouble here. He actually Timber Chains immediately in front of him, but a blink forward Ravage is going to catch out Fervian. He's going to die. Ravage on 3. Nice Ancient Seal onto Apathy, but the Mystic Flare is too late. He BKBs off the Ancient Seal. Levi's going to be going down here to the Ember Spirit. And meanwhile, the Tide dies as well. So nice engagement top, force synergy. They bring them back into this game. Unusual buyback here from Fervian. Probably expected a full-on engagement, but in the meantime, Weehaw pushing down the bot lane, and there goes that T2. So more money to the way of the Meepo. He's got another ultimate orb. Perhaps now he builds into that Scotty for the stats, as well as that orb effect on the main Meepo with the slow of his right click. So that'll be pretty damn good for him. Roshan is up in about 30 seconds here, so they will probably scout that out soon. Actually, that Earthbind might have caught it recently as it dropped. Not sure that it did. Doesn't seem like it did, or he may have just walked right into the pit there. Illusion Rune is bottom. Bounty Rune picked up top by Arise. He's got 9 Bloodstone charges, so certainly not a wasted item at this point, and will be just fine there. Weehaw jumping into the pit. Everyone totally out of position to contest this for synergy, and they'll get this with relative ease. Arise is going to stay out of the pit to cover his comrade here in case there is any engagement. Hockey sitting on the high ground with a blink. No Ravage at the ready, however. And Levi simply going to walk in, perhaps for some experience there. He just picked up his level 11 and is actually well on his way to his Aghanims. Only 1,000 gold away with 2 components and 1,000 gold in the bank. He's going to look for a glimpse initiation here. And he does initiate on Fervian. They find him. Easy pick off, easy life. Pull back of the Chakram from Arise is going to be what finishes him off there. Manta Style actually picked up here for Weehaw. So you thought there were enough Meepos, you thought there was enough Micro, but it only gets worse at this point. Pushing out the top lane is Weehaw. He's got his Meepo ready in the mid lane, however. Apathy looking for a solo pick on Levi. Chain forward from Arise. BKB pop from Apathy, but this is only about 6 seconds at this point. Weehaw rotating in. He's looking for this Lich, and they really are prioritizing the Lich so as not to get that Chain Frost off on all those Meepos. Looks like we're going to see a TP back from Weehaw just to push the lane out. Probably will keep someone mid, and is actually TPing back to a siege creep that died, unfortunately, for Weehaw. So probably wasn't looking at the exactly how to screen on that portion of the map at that point, but is simultaneously pushing out both bot and top lanes, and they will just look to retreat, push out the lanes, and farm the map up and be efficient. A 4,000 gold lead in the way of BBC. Just 2,500 experience at this point. In the mid lane, however, he's gone on to Shkeeper, and he'll find him with relative ease. Chain Frost is bouncing through the Meepos, but so tanky at this point is Weehaw. He actually jumped forward looking for more, not able to find anyone in the tree line. And nice, sweet, solid pick off there. No buyback available for this Brewmaster, as you can see. And he's down for a full 40 seconds. They'll take this tier 2 with relative ease. Earthbind going to go out just to try and catch anyone leaving the base. And we will see TPs towards the top lane from Weehaw. They'll take out the tier 2 as well. Just a magician on this hero. The way he is absolutely omnipresent across the map, and omnipotent as well, as we see in this game. Perhaps they look to go high ground and force buyback. They're being flanked from behind here by Apathy, but they actually pinged him out. Blink forward, Hex from Weehaw, Ancient Seal. Apathy's dead, and he's got no buyback once again A little bit of a lack of discipline, I guess, from Synergy. It's tough. They're not playing with their full squad. And that 5-second BKB, just not enough to keep up Apathy. He didn't actually get it off there, so beautiful reactions from Weehaw and the team. A jump forward and a nice Static Storm reaction by Levi. They're going to pick off the Brew before he gets the Primal Split off. And Levi will go down, but Sharfik's going to die for this probably. He does Remnant back and does survive for the moment. Blink forward from Arise. Sleight of Fist is there, Searing Chains, but he gets hexed up. He'll go down as well. No buyback for the Ember Spirit. And they're going to chase down Fervian. No Earthbind going to latch at the current moment, but Blink should be up soon for this Meepo who's actually in base. And the rest of his Meepos will do the work. He's going to poof in the main Meepo here. And looks to go on to Tossie as well, who is able to force back to the base. But Weehaw still sitting on this Aegis. And does get the Earthbind off. Actually, the Blink was canceled by the Frostlass, so not able to go for it. He does spread the Meepos out fairly well here, and he will poof everyone back in, and Tossie will go down. So perhaps Synergy just watching here. Actually, Apathy able to get a Blink pounce off onto Weehaw, but there's no Chain Frost. There's no follow-up here, and he did have the Aegis, which was up at least for another little while. In the meantime, tier 3 is being pushed into by Weehaw. They actually haven't broken base through all of this, so Synergy still has a chance, but jump forward, Hex, Earthbind on 2, and actually Weehaw gonna look to back out, waits for backup here. Arise has arrived, and they are going back onto Apathy, who does save his BKB, pops it now. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains combo. They're gonna bring down Weehaw here, and Skeeper will find the last kill. And they will look to go high ground to find Arise here. Remnant forward, chains right through the path of the Ember Spirit. Nice Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. Gonna look to TP out interface. Should be successful in doing so, and he is. The Brewmaster not there in time. And Hockey will blink out from the mid lane. So Weehaw going ham pretty much in the base alone for 10 minutes. And does finally get brought down after using that Aegis. Aegis would have expired right now. 5 minutes 48 seconds until Roshan respawns, but 6,400 gold up on the Meepo here for Weehaw. So he's pretty much free to build whatever. He just spent 4K of it on 2 ultimate orbs. So it looks like there finally will be the Scotty. Thank you for not making me seem like a total jackass, Weehaw. Weehaw love you. Thank you. There it is. And Levi gonna get picked off here potentially. He does drop the Static Storm Kinetic Field, so we'll probably only delay the inevitable. Even glimpses his out of it with the Haste Rune. A nice Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains. Good guess there from Sharfik. And he will pick off the Disruptor. However, blink forward, Ravage on 2. Weehaw's here. He's going to pick off Sharfik, and Sharfik's going to pay for his insolence. There's a Force out, but a nice Earthbind to cancel that TP from Tossie. Keeper going to blink out to the low ground, actually the high ground, and TP away. Arise not there in time to find him. Weehaw immediately to the bottom lane, almost finds Fervian, actually looking for him with this one Meepo here. And won't find him, but he does cut the wave down, and he may run into him now. He will find him. He doesn't have the main Meepo here, however, with the blink. And does have it now, though. Fervian in a world of trouble. Earthbind's going to land on him. Blink forward. All the poofs in the world. And there goes Fervian. We just got to keep player perspective on this guy right now. Absolute clinic from Weehaw. You don't let this hero slip through against BBC, and you especially don't let him free farm when that's the case. So unfortunate for Synergy. Excuse me, valiant attempt by them, but Weehaw Dota, he's going to go to the top lane. He's going to find Apathy as well, despite that BKB being popped. Instant salty buyback from Apathy. They're going to look to defend mid lane here, but Weehaw is already joined the fray with a couple of his Meepos. He's pushing the top tier 3 in the meantime. They bring down the melee racks here. They're bringing down the tier 3 top. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains combo, jump in, pounce onto Arise. He's going to get leashed up, but a nice defensive Static Storm there is going to keep Arise up. He's going to be able to chain out. In the meantime, Meepos pushing in the top racks. He's going to poof all here, and the Meepos may go down here, but they poof away, and he'll be just fine. He actually poofs to the bottom lane. Jump in, clap, Primal Split. They're going to bring down Levi. Ghost Scepter popped here. Not going to be enough from Solitude. Meanwhile, later to your racks, Weehaw not even worried about fighting. Oh, there's heroes in this game? Yeah. Hashtag objective gaming. And he'll just man up versus Apathy and the Ember here. Pretty much nothing else to do. He actually may escape, but he gets telekinesis while poofing. And so nice play by Fervian, but well worth the death on the Meepo there. No melee racks in the mid. No racks is at all bottom. And no melee racks top. So getting all the melee racks is such a good player is Weehaw on this Meepo. Knowing the situation, knowing exactly how long they need to kill off his team, who did a good job of stalling here. And don't feel like this Aghanim Scepter just quite did enough from Shkeeper. But not going to flame that item choice too much. Would probably flame the Midas a little more. The fact of the matter is that there's not much he could have built here that would have stopped them from getting absolutely bulldozed over by this Weehaw Meepo here. So Daedalus does come out here for the Ember Spirit. Still pretty good against the Meepo, and I guess Synergy felt like they let the Meepo through with good reason. Harai's actually going to find a pick mid. He's going to pay with his life, though, in all likelihood. Remnant forward, Frost Blast, one last right click from the Lich. Is going to pick him off, so he finds a solo kill on Shkeeper, which is a nice target, but feeds away his life. What I was going to mention is that they did pick the Ember Spirit, they did pick the Lich both early on, so it's almost as if they were daring BBC. Jump forward, Ravage on 2, however, from Hockey, and they're going to pick off the Slark for Apathy. He is down for over 100 seconds here. Tossie going to be the next to die. Weehaw going to pick off one more. That's Sharfik's Ember Spirit. Fervian down. This is probably GG if they don't call it here. I'd be surprised. They already don't have any racks. Perhaps just sitting back and marveling at the play from Weehaw. GG's come out. Weehaw Meepo, you got to see it, boys. Unfortunately, you had a new Bass caster casting it for you, but appreciate the support, guys. I am Morge, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is HeflaTV. Join Dota League Season 4, Europe Division 2, BBC 4-0 today in both the GG League Season 2 and join Dota Season 4. Looking very sharp, as always. Weehaw earlier played on a core mid lane Earthshaker. Also really something to watch. Definitely check out the VODs over at youtube.com/HeflaMoke.